Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Medina.
And I'm Andre Murphy.
We are both millwright instructors, and we are currently teaching the foundation program. And we're here to introduce you to two of the subjects that you will be doing online. Subjects are?
The subject is going to be WHMIS.
And fire safety. We'll start by talking about WHMIS right now to give you a quick introduction to it. WHMIS is a very important part of being a millwright out there. You are exposed to many different things out there. You might run into having to mix stuff so that you can apply it somewhere to clean something. In this case, my experience was cleaning aluminum after polishing with acetone. And I know Andre has some other experience.
Yes, so my experience relates to mixing two substances which are bleach and ammonia, and you are not supposed to mix those, especially after you mix it and you pour it into the toilet to get rid of it. It's a no-no, and WHMIS helps you to identify those hazardous products that you will be dealing at work most of the time.
So that's why one of the sections on the millwright program, foundation program, is to get you certified with a WHMIS certificate. And the way it's going to be is you're going to be following a set of instructions online. The same set of instructions that you'll follow to get into WHMIS will apply for fire safety. So fire safety, which is another very important.
Yeah, it's a fairly important subject because some of you may experience small fires, and as a millwright, you might be fighting a small fire. And what a small fire is, how do you justify a small or a large fire, Eric?
Well, when in one of my war stories, one of my first time ever using a fire extinguisher was I was working on a belt sander. And what happened is somebody had used a different type of metal, an alloy in that belt sander. And then my coworker came over and started working with another type of metal. And what happened is he was grinding quite a bit. There was a lot of sparks, and there was a buildup of the alloy at one end, and it caught on fire. Now this fire was a tiny fire. It's what they called, when the fire starts, it's in the infancy of the fire. It's a small fire. So I happened to be around. I went over, grabbed the fire extinguisher, and I managed to do the pass, and I used it. So a small fire would be something like that. It's not something that, you're not engulfed in flames, right? Because when you do, if you do happen to be there, the first step is to always fire alarm, right? So
you have to notify people around you first, and then you have to you can attempt to fight a small fire. And I had a similar case just in machine shop where there is a friction saw, and friction saw, the blade spins at a very, very high RPM. It creates heat in front of the metal that you're cutting, and therefore there's lots of molten metal going down into the chute where all the chips are accumulating. And someone previously was using friction saw to cut wood, and after that, next student, he tried to use a friction saw to cut metal. So you can understand how molten metal comes into contact with sawdust, and a small fire occurs, and all I had to do is just spread the dust, the wood chips around, and to extinguish the fire. So it's just an easy way to put out a fire.
That's an awesome war story too for you. So, like we mentioned, you will be certified in these two subjects. You will be certified on WHMIS and on fire safety. So, one of the biggest things that we have when we run this online certification process is that students tend to struggle on how to go about. So, we'll give you a little bit of a breakdown on what you have to do. It's super straightforward. It's as simple as following the instructions that are presented to you online.
That's right.
Okay. So what's one of the issues that you run in when your students sign in, Andre? Do you remember anything that they struggle with?
Yes, it's the sometimes the browsers will not work, so you have to try a different browser, Chrome or Explorer. Firefox sometimes works the best. And also you need to disable pop-ups. So pop-ups has to be disabled, and in the outline, in the procedure, it tells you how to disable pop-ups as well.
Aside from that, another one is, as you're logging in as a first time ever doing a course like that, you'll have to make sure you read the instructions. The instructions tells you if you're a new student, you must do the passwords and everything that you're asked to do. If you are a second time student, let's say you took this course already, then it's going to ask you for your original password, and that is something that we cannot help you with. We don't have your passwords from other programs. So just remember that if you have done it before, you might have to contact BCIT to get you the access for it. But again, follow the directions, follow instructions, and you will actually be able to complete this and be successful. In order for you to get certified, you must be successful and you must pass with a 80% at least. At the end of the course, Andre, it does ask to you to print a certificate. So if you have access to a printer, a color printer, you can go right ahead and print it out. If not, we will actually print it for you when we see you on campus here.
And nowadays the other option is to keep it in PDF file or electronic version, but we do need confirmation of your final mark. So therefore, please take a print screen of your final mark and upload it into the assignment so we can grade your WHMIS and fire safety projects.
I hope this was helpful. Hope to see you soon.